Hey yo, it's Guido. Welcome back to Tactics Talk. Thanks for tuning in on this episode. I've got Mad Dog the First back in his 103. He's got another methodical disintegration of an enemy team to show you here. He's middle tier in a 357 in his tier 9 M103 American heavy tank. Loaded into Malnovka, down on the south spawn, or the southeast spawn I suppose. And he's headed up here to the northeast part of the map, going up to the windmill and going to win the high ground, or at least attempt to. He's got a T62 with him, a T54 down the lower shelf down there, and some other heavies that weren't quite as fast or who were futzing around a little bit more. Looking at probably the guys that were crossing. There were some shots at the Sheridan. He got spotted, took some hits, but we are up here on the top. The enemy team has pushed a 705, a 1390, and a 257 straight across. This is an interesting thing that's started to happen lately. People really pushing down there. I find that to be almost completely useless. You get stuffed. It's hard to push across that really open area. It can win, but the other team has to be extremely bad for it to win, or simply just not send anyone there. There's always some moths that are going to be drawn to that flame, and you can see that one of their tier 10 heavies is actually down there futzing around. So Mad Dog's going to go to work up here at the windmill. Got quite a few guys here. Takes a hit, puts a shot into the ISM. So right, you do have to be careful with the M103's armor. It can be decent. It's not terribly thick, but it's got some weird angles on it. Goes right through that ISM. I don't know if he got down to his lower plate or what happened there. He just went through the upper plate. That was interesting because he wasn't firing gold. As I said, it's got some weird angles, so it can be bouncy with the right kind of wiggling, forcing them to shoot maybe to the side instead of dead on to that lower plate where it's curved like that. The turret's decently bouncy. You can see Mad Dog's taking a couple hits in here, but he's dealing with an IS-4. IS-4 shoots, so he takes the opportunity to come out. Quite a long reload on the IS-4 relatively anyway, so plenty of time to get out, shoot him in the side, gets a track on him as well. He's got his backup now. These guys are showing up, so there's a lot of tanks. He gets bumped right there by the 4502. I think he wanted to try to shoot that guy on the side of the turret, but gets bumped and isn't able to get it. 4502 face hugs this guy, leaves just a sliver for Mad Dog to put a shot right into his lower plate right there. So nice job. And Mad Dog's team ends up taking the hill, and that's very important on this map. Nice job overall. Taking those guys down. The Object 140, who I think is a pretty good player based on the way he plays and how long he lasts, bails off the hill and says goodbye. The T62 is pretty salty through this entire battle, but Mad Dog is now pushing forward, seeing if he can't find some of these guys down here. And this gets kind of interesting because what do you do with the hill, right? Do you all come boiling off of it and walk into a WT, maybe a T95, probably a couple other, at least a 140 kicking around down in those trees down there? Probably not. There is a large lead built up right now, but it may not be time to do that. And let's see what actually ends up happening. If you're going to do it, you've got to go hard. And somebody's got to be the lead sled dog. And what we're going to find out here is Mad Dog does not want to be the lead sled dog. Everybody stops. And then he takes a hammer blow from the M40-43, and then he backs off. Looks like Mad Dog does not have a sixth sense right here on this tank. So he's going to turn around stunned, and looks like everybody else bails out. They don't want to do it either. And we're going to look for a better way. Well, what's the better way? It's hard to say at this point. They're still messing around with these guys down here at their cap, hiding behind these buildings. They didn't come raging off and get in their face. So the options now are hang out up here and just look for shots, or potentially come back down around the bottom. Maybe get up on this hill, but that's problematic because there's some mediums and stuff trolling around. Holy cow, the T95 drives right up the middle. Hey diddle diddle, right up the middle. That dog's gonna try the it's gonna try to blind shot that guy just using the lineup method. If you saw what he was doing, he was just putting his gun line about where he thought that guy was and at the correct elevation. This is a nice shot right here. Gets a shot to the side of the turret. Sometimes those shots work, like he took on the 95, sometimes they don't. He didn't have a lot of SA on the elevation. He had a decent idea, but because of the trees, you couldn't really tell what he was looking at, so who knows how high or low he was on that guy. But a nice shot on the T-34. And one thing you see from Mad Dog quite a bit is He's always looking for those shots, and every time somebody's lit, he's kind of investigating that and taking a look at it, looking to get a shot. He's already up to 3,200. We get a bit of a stalemate here. The T-62 moves up, looking to get some lights. Dangerous for him at 400 hit points and with a relatively big artillery. The Tiger II is sitting here. The poor 4502 is seen. He's getting absolutely wrecked, and he will disappear here in a minute because he's spotted. There he goes. The 140 kills him. So the 140 is clearly down in here somewhere working, and those are the kind of little pieces of SA you need to try to gather as you're going. You know the 4502 was there. The 140 killed him because you saw that on the kill list, so you know that he, at least for the moment, is somewhere down in here with draw range up to about here, so in this general area, which is where I would go if I were him. T-26E5 dies. There goes the Tiger II, who was clearly also still spotted, or had been in the 40-43 guest, and the ridiculous Tiger stayed there. Madog's going to deal with a bit of a depression issue with this tank right here, and he gets some bad RNG for the middle part of this battle here. He misses that one. We got the Object 140. He prioritizes that guy. I agree with that. That's a bummer. Went right over its back deck. I mean, he really needs to get rid of this guy because this guy is causing his team the most issues right now. But he backs up. He's going to look for another shot on him. Oh, that goes low. So unhelpful. Still got some guys lit. And there we go. There's the WT. Be nice to kill him off, but this guy survives. Somehow gets away. The two mediums are unable to get down to him. There's too many tanks shooting at him from different directions. A little high roll would have been nice, but you kill them off, so that's good. The 34's down. But we've got the Object 140. He's moved up to the hill right there, which was an interesting decision to me for him. He had to know Madog was up there. Although he may not have processed it, because Madog didn't end up killing anybody. And I don't think he actually hit the 140, so he may not have known Madog was there. He does now, though. So you'll notice that he kind of informs the rest of his game from that information. The 100.01 is trying to hide behind the church. Madog gets a couple shots in on him there. There goes the WT. I think that went up into the turret, it looked like. The replays are a little wonky. You see that when Madog shoots, all of a sudden it zooms back out, and you don't get a really great idea of exactly where the shot went. Looking for a highlight, can't quite get it. And the enemy team has made a bit of a comeback, although they have lost down near the green cap, so that does help. There's a 34 and a Panzer 7 moving across the field. There's the 100.01. Little shot onto the side of the turret. Rolls a 360. There's still that WT down there, and that 140. The 140 more than anything is probably keeping Madog being very careful up here. So Madog's not even willing to get lit at this point. He's taking every shot that he can while being invisible, if he can possibly do it. And notice that he doesn't rage forward looking for shots. If it's not there, he doesn't force it, at least not in this part of the battle. This shot came in through there, so he may have been actually spotted right there. Yep, so he's going to back up. These are the kinds of SA you need to use when you're not running with Sixth Sense. You start to see shots coming in, or people look like they're reacting to you. Guess what? You may be spotted. The other good one is artillery range on your nugget. That's always a good indication somebody sees you. Down goes the 416, down goes the Panzer 4, the WT Panzer 4. That's an important kill right there. That's a big gun, good one to get rid of. There's the 140, so he's actually moved down trying to react to the Sheridan and the Panzer 7. So Madog looked like he was going to come off the hill, and then when he noticed those two kills go down, he realized they had quite the advantage. I think I might have stayed up on the hill, Madog, I don't know. Maybe use these bushes, come up to this part a little bit sooner. But as it was, playing very careful with only 517 hit points. And then as soon as you saw the opportunity, you reacted anyway, so I wouldn't say it's a huge big deal. I was curious here, though, because it seemed to me like you might want to be a little bit more aggressive. Maybe trying to avoid getting shot on the top of your turret, that's what you're doing. Or just having artillery hit you right here. But I would have investigated getting a shot on that guy's little tumor on the top right there, right off the bat, because you wouldn't have had to expose a whole bunch of your tank to do so. You'll notice the 5100 is also coming up, so some of this may be the fact that he's looking for backup. They're going to double team this guy, but you just keep getting lit, and eventually that artillery is going to pay attention to you, unfortunately. Looking for the shot. He has to face up to the 5100, and down he goes. So nice job all around, took care of that. Fix the track. I think I think maybe you probably wanted that one back. You probably wanted your turret fixed and wait for the track to fix, or maybe you were just trying to make sure you could get in there as soon as possible and help out the T-54. Turret's not as important at this range, so that may have been what was being thought of right there. And this is that problem with coming off this hill. I mean, you're really just going to get spotted if anyone's kind of nearby, but the Object 140 seems to have retreated quite far back. In fact, he has. There he is, way down there. Finally goes down. And now we're just driving in and looking for a shot on the Clicker, who has 3 kills. Disgusting. There he is. Fire! A little bit late. Waited a little too long. 5,421 damage, 390 blocked, 864 assists. This is a really good game with the M103. A lot of people don't like this tank. I like it quite a bit. Nice job overall. Pretty much standard textbook Mad Dog. Very careful, good positioning, always looking for a shot when he can, and finishing up by being on the map, man. If you want to finish a game, if you want to carry, if you want to carry more then you get carried, then you need to make sure you are alive at the end of the game to do so. And Mad Dog does a nice job of that right here. All right, guys, I hope you liked what you saw. I hope you learned something. If you did, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Keep on supporting it. And as always, we will see you.